you hear the complaints now, right? Before, like in the 90s, we were just so happy to have a black film, a black TV show. And now we're so critical. There's so much backlash with black as fuck, right? Black AF. With, well, they're mixed and they're light skinned and they're not real blacks and it doesn't represent the black experience. How difficult is it for you to cast projects? Because I see the criticism when it's a black show. Now, having a black show is not enough. It's like if the leads are light skinned or they appear to be biracial, then you have that. How real is that complaint? Is that a legitimate complaint? And how do y'all deal with that? And what are your thoughts on that? Because, you know, representation of all shades is important.
It is. Yes. So, I mean, for me, I think, you know, we are who we are, and if people in our world look like, I mean, just the three of us look like, you know, we're different, you know, different complexions, and, you know, I want to make whatever I'm casting represent the world that I know. And that world is very diverse, right? Sure. And I think that sometimes we just are too critical. I don't know if we don't have anything better to do, or it's just one of those things where you feel like you don't understand the process and you think you can do it and you think you know what goes into it and you just have a lot to say and don't really respect it.
I agree. The complexion thing is awful. The complexion thing, we've really got to work on that. Yeah. That's just, and I do understand. I mean, I am a light-skinned woman, but I don't look through light-skinned eyes. Like I just see out. I don't see in. So I totally understand that all of the complexions matter. Mm-hmm. And yes, we want them to be brown. And I mean, I've had problems casting brown-skinned Naturi Naughton as Little Kim. Like, I can't win for losing. This one's too brown. That one's not brown enough. This one, like, what are we doing?
Are studio heads telling you to lean towards light skin? Because I hear this argument all the time. And I'm like, I don't know if that's the case, or is it the case? It's like you're too light, you're too dark. Are the heads of studios, especially on the mainstream projects, are they more friendly and receptive and open to a lighter skinned black person than a brown skin? Do you still see that kind of colorism happening to us?
Not for me.
Hasn't been my experience that lately. No, I mean, there were times early on, you know, where I would run into studio heads saying that an actress wasn't pretty enough. And it really came down to that actress being browner than they wanted.
Wow.
I didn't.
We have. It's probably freezing again. Never mind.
Can you say that again? Because that's such an interesting point. I want that to be clear. You said that a studio would say that a girl wasn't pretty enough. Can you say that again?
Yes, that and this was a long time ago, earlier on, and I would say like early 90s, that an actress, the one in particular who was amazing and working and has, you know, received awards and all, wasn't pretty enough for the lead in this film. And it was really, they just wanted a lighter skinned actress. She was a beautiful brown woman, you know, and it was a thing then. But now I don't see that being, you know, if it is, it's not spoken.
And for me, I had the opposite. So I remember casting Stomp the Yard for Will Packer and Rob Hardy and Screen Gems. And they specifically said to me, we want the slow motion girl to be noticeably brown or dark skinned. And I was like, awesome, great. Now let me find her, you know? So, and of course, you know, it ended up being made for good. And at that time I was encouraging a lot of young women. I was doing speaking engagements around the country to model searches and talent searches and things. And I was trying to encourage more dark skinned and brown skinned girls, young women, to get into this industry because they hadn't seen themselves enough, or where they were looking, they hadn't seen themselves enough. So they thought that this wasn't the thing for them to do. So I started to encourage, because we only had at that time, in that age range, we had Megan, Rutina Wesley had just been the lead in the film. She was a dance movie. So there were a few in that age range. And now, you know, there's more and more. So the more that we attract more, you know, rich rich and beautiful complexions, the more we will cast.
Yes, absolutely.
Because I see that complaint a lot, you know, and I always wonder, you know, I don't know if it's because we have social media now, but everything's a conspiracy theory. And I do believe in, you know, listen, I've driven an hour to go to an audition. They say, we're not auditioning any Black girls. We don't want a Black girl. I'm like, well, why do you even waste my time to come down here? You know, or you don't look Black, or you don't look like, I'm like, okay, well, whatever. So I want people to speak on that for the people that are watching, that think that there's a big, you know, the powers that be are blocking that.